Chad. There you go, Chad. Hey.
Keep on your feet.
Hey, no.
Finish.
The Gameday Broadcast Network is proud to present Football Media Day. Football Media Day is brought to you by Lark Brewing Company and Restaurant, Loudoun's #1 destination for great food and great times. And by Integrated Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy. When you need to get back in the game or the game of life, call Robin O'Connor and Integrated Sports Medicine today.
Hundreds of high school athletes have trusted Integrated Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy to help them get back on the field. Don't let that injury go untreated. Call Integrated Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy today at 703-724-7474 or visit us online at integratedsportspt.com. It's where athletes go to get back in the game.
David Bishop, Loudoun Valley High School. I'm in my 6th year now as head coach at Loudoun Valley. You know, we're coming off of back-to-back playoff appearances, and really, first thing before we kind of get into that, I just want to thank Gameday and Andy Hayes for bringing me out here. Because it really kind of takes me back. My first year as head coach, I took over in the summer about 2019. Right in the middle of the summer, and the previous head coach took an athletic director job. And one of the really first items of business was, being invited out to do the press conference for game day. And I was appreciative then, and I'm appreciative today. So I just want to say thank you for really giving me the platform of, just representing Loudoun Valley and our student athletes, and just what we're able to do. Coming off of back-to-back playoff appearances, that any year over the past 5 years, me being the head coach, that we've had a full off season that we've been able to make the playoffs. Because in that first year, we actually came off of a 1-win season. When I took over, we went to the playoffs, won 7 games. We upset Hanley on a Saturday afternoon, the first round of the playoffs, and then gave Broad Run a battle. And then when the pandemic hit, we weren't allowed in the weight room. And for us at Loudoun Valley, it's just so important to have that off season, the training, the strength program, the injury prevention, just for all of our athletes. And just, it definitely hurt us, really in 2020 to 2021. But then once we were able to get back into the weight room the past couple of years, just with the leadership and the strength training and just the culture we've been able to build, we've coming off back-to-back years. And, we don't hide from that. And I've told the kids that the expectation is that, that's the standard now. That's the minimum. We want to really practice on Thanksgiving. We've kind of made that goal to be able to practice on Thanksgiving Day, because as a coach or a player, I feel that's one of the best things that we could do is on that Thanksgiving morning, to be able to be out there as a team and practice before that turkey dinner, and that's our goal, and we understand though that doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't mean you're automatically right back in the playoffs. Like our record's 0-0, we're fighting and battling through off-season and camp just to prepare ourselves, and that's what it's going to take, is coming out and really game by game. It's cliche, but it's definitely true. And the kids have been putting in work this entire off-season to be able to try to make that happen. Kind of start really with the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, we think all coaches know that it starts up front. We have really 2 great offensive line coaches, and Josh Spring, who is a Valley alum, and he was an all-state center in his own right. And he does just a phenomenal job with the offensive line. I mean, he's going in the Valley Hall of Fame this year, and we're just excited really to have him, along with another offensive line coach, Russ Bolden, who's one of the biggest men you ever see, and just the knowledge that both of them bring to our O-line just to prepare them and just get them ready, week by week. And really what it starts up front, as I mentioned, we have a 3-year starter at left guard, and Will Rimmel, who the past 2 years has held it down beside our left tackle, who's now at Clemson, Mason Wade, and that's really the guys we've been running behind. We have our right tackle from last year, Will Saba, who's going to Wake Forest commit. We've moved him over to left tackle, and obviously that gives a pretty formidable pair, on the left side, Will Saba, Will Rimmel. At the center position, we got an undersized kid in Max Ordez that we know we're going to get from him. He's going to fight and scrap with every ounce of his being. Just a smart kid, making the calls in the O-line. We're excited about what he brings to the table. We have a rising sophomore, Aiden Oliver, that's a big kid that we feel has got D1 potential, strong, and he's really going to hold it down, most likely, on the right side. And then we got two other linemen, Thomas Dickinson, Sean Leslie, that have been putting in the work, kind of buying their time, and now it's their time. We feel like we got 6 guys up front. We know it starts in the trenches, and obviously they're going to really kind of make or break our season. And it's going to be pretty senior-laden up front. We told them really they're going to take us as far as we can go. Right? At the skill positions, we're definitely going to be younger. I think we're really talented. I think that we have the depth that maybe more so than ever, that I've had before, that we've had. But obviously there's going to be some inexperience. We have a returning starter, Julian White, at the receiver position that is coming off a broken clavicle. So, he's kind of been working to kind of get back. Hopefully he gets cleared by game 1. And really in his absence, we've had a number of guys step up from juniors, Rez Parada, Isaiah Rice, Brian Barrett, James Mackey, to sophomore Hudson Bolton. And really with that collection, we feel that we got the talent and the speed there to be able to really make some noise outside in the skill positions. Right? In the backfield, we got a returning starting running back. And he's only a rising sophomore. He took over the starting role mid-season last year as a freshman. Ethan LaFollette ran for 900 yards, 1,000 yards from scrimmage. I think there was a Virginia Preps poll where he was voted as the best freshman in the state of Virginia last year. And he's just had a phenomenal offseason. Just strength-wise, speed-wise, and the work he put in. He had perfect attendance in our offseason. And we're really just excited what he can do because he probably has the best vision of maybe any running back that I've ever had. Maybe compared to a running back I coached years ago, who's his running back coach now, Ross Madison, who brings D1 experience and NFL experience to the coaching staff. We have a tight end, Heath Federoff, who's a rising senior that has kind of stepped in that role. We asked him to move positions. Great pass catcher off the line of scrimmage. Definitely, prepared to really kind of be an extra glorified lineman and blocking as well. So we're pretty excited what we have in the backfield up front. Because we also have a fullback, Chase Loftus, that we feel is maybe, if not the best fullback in the area. He increased his core lifts by 260 pounds, and he's just a dude. He just loves football, eats it, lives it, breathes it. We're excited about what he can do out of the backfield as a pass catcher, and obviously blocking and just his leadership. At the quarterback position, which to me is, probably the most important position in all of sports. And I know that's, kind of argumentative, but I truly believe that. And really we got 2 guys been battling through camp, and that's junior Mac Gaffney, who ran for 900 yards last year himself as a running back, who kind of brings us that dual threat and athleticism. And then we got a senior, Brody Scott, that, we feel has one of the strongest arms in the area in the county. He can really sling it. And really they bring in 2 different types of skill sets. So it's really on us as a coaching staff, one, to find out who's going to be best for the team, because it's still a battle, or even maybe able to utilize both of those really for our offense. Our kids, they know that what I've told them the past 3 years, we've jumped up in our points per game average offensively. We went from 24 to 26 to 28, right? So the expectation this year in 2024, that at the minimum, we're 30 points a game. We've went up 2 points the last 3 years. So that's really kind of the standard, because we want to keep that trajectory, keep going up. And now in our offense, you're using a little bit more RPO in the offense with a smash mouth run game, play action pass game. That 30 points a game is what we have, and I think we have the coaching staff and the players to do it. Nick Valentine's kind of taking on more of a role as an offensive coordinator, and really what he's able to bring really to the offense, just in our passing concepts and really kind of seeing things. Along with myself, kind of sharing play calling duties. That the expectation is that we're going to put up points, and really points need to win, and that's really kind of our goal. Kind of transition, flip over the defensive side. Our defense coordinator, Choppy Burke, who's been a tradition mainstay in the Loudoun, county community, that he kind of brings that aggressive mindset. And last year we actually gave up the least amount of points per game since 2019. And we want to now keep that trajectory. Those points a game coming down. We've brought on some great guys. Linebacker coach Richard Bevilacqua, who's very knowledgeable. DB coaches Ross Mattis, I mentioned before, and Kerry Vipon, who probably has one of the most passionate, energetic, really personalities I've ever been around. And just the knowledge that he brings to the table as a DB coach is just phenomenal. We're blessed to have, a great coaching staff, and we're excited about what our defense can do. The heart and soul of our defense, linebackers Chase Loftus. First team all-region linebacker last year. He's just a field general, sideline to sideline type kid, and we're expecting him to kind of lead the way. Will Rimmel, as I mentioned earlier, is a 3-year starter, O-line, D-line. Not only was he like our strongest guy, like on the bench, 345 pounds, but he broke our school skills record running a 4.89 40 for offensive linemen. And with that speed, we're going to move him to linebacker. We feel that he's just a kid that we want to be able to run sideline to sideline and be able to utilize that speed. We have another linebacker, Parker Jansen, that really gives us a three-headed monster inside to be able to kind of hold it down that we're excited about. We have 3 guys that can do it. Outside linebackers can run a 3-4 defense. We got guys battling in camp. We got juniors, Mason Kirby, Chris Toronzo, Braden Suppley, seniors Heath Federoff, Jack Ryle, that are really going to kind of hold it down the outside. And we're going to put out the best guys, as we tell them. I don't care what grade you're in, we're going to play our best 11. D-line, really kind of rotate those guys between Saba, Ordez, Oliver, Leslie, Dickinson. We got a transfer kid from crosstown, Jonathan Ford, that's had a great camp. So we're excited about our box. A lot of like veteran leadership in our box. On the back end, we're going to be, a little younger and experienced, but again, talented. Returning corner, lockdown corner, Matt Gaffney, who held it down all last year, junior. Just his athletic abilities, a three-sport athlete. He's just a tough kid out there. We got the other corner, Rez Parada and J.J. Ryan fighting for that job. And on the back end, Hudson Bolton, sophomore. We have Isaiah Rice, James Mackey. We just got different guys that we know are ready to compete. And we're just excited about what they bring. Ethan LaFoll's back there at safety as well. So we just, we know that what we're capable of doing, with our defense and our offense, and we're expecting to have to put it all together. Some of those guys are going to have to grow up fast, because we're definitely going to be a little younger. Even in the kicking game, we got Rez Parada, who's got a huge leg, who started a few games for us, and we brought in a soccer player, rising senior, Garrett Bolden, to provide that depth in the kicking game. So just with all those guys and our coaching staff, we're excited about this year. We know that it's a tough district. We've been able to win games and go in the playoffs and make some noise, but the truth is that we got teams that we haven't been able to get over the hump with. And we're not going to hide away from that. Tusker Roar's a perennial contender, and they definitely got, a lot of players coming back, that, especially at the skill positions, and they're extremely well coached, and they're a great team. With Loudoun County, Woodgrove, John Champ, like all those schools, like, I kind of compare it, say, sometimes that every week in the Loudoun County is like the SEC. There's no weeks off. Every week's going to be a battle, because truly in my heart right now, especially in Loudoun, that we feel that every staff is a pretty amazing staff. Every week those players are going to be coached up, and it's not necessarily going to be like out-schemed and such. So it's really on kind of the culture, what we're able to bring to the table, and not shying away from the expectation of those schools, and that's what we're trying to get to. And we're just excited about 2024 and the challenge that's going to be presented to us, and we're going to step up to that challenge.
Coach, great to have you again here at Media Day. I want to just ask you before we complete here, just to give us a little snapshot of your Week 1 opponent and kind of what you're looking at here ahead.
Sure. So we actually have a Week 1 bye, like the second year in a row because of this cycle. Like last year, we had a schedule locked in, and our Week 1 opponent ended up dropped us like in the spring. So we had to pick up a team action in our later bye week. So it's not ideal, but it is what it is. So we just got to deal with it. And then our first game is Musselman High School out of West Virginia, who's a well-coached team. Brian Thomas, the head coach, who I actually coached years ago, and he definitely has his team ready. I mean, last year we went up there with great atmosphere, and they beat us in overtime. And we end up the next week, went out to John Champ, and they took us to the woodshed. So we're not hiding away from last year. We started 0-2. We kind of battled back and ended up going on a winning streak, but we know that week one, how important that is when Musselman now this year comes to Valley, and we got a brand new turf this year. Shout out to AD Chris Kellican and Loudoun County Public Schools for giving us the new turf. We think it looks awesome. We're excited about that week one home game and the jungle and the atmosphere, and we know that Musselman's going to bring a well-coached team in a battle, and we're just looking forward to that, and the kids know that, hey, the expectation is 1-0, and that's what's going to kind of set the tone for our season, and we want to, come out there ready to play, even with that week one bye, and we're expected to do so.
Coach, it's great to have you here, man. Great information on the Vikings, and we look forward to watching Loudoun Valley compete this fall, and should be a great season for you guys.
I appreciate Gameday and Andy for having us out. It's a class act here, and just want to say thank you again.
Thank you, Coach.
There you go, Chad. Hey. Keep on your feet. Hey, Finish.
The Gameday Broadcast Network is proud to present Football Media Day. Football Media Day is brought to you by Lark Brewing Company and Restaurant, Loudoun's #1 destination for great food and great times. And by Integrated Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy. When you need to get back in the game or the game of life, call Robin O'Connor and Integrated Sports Medicine today.
Hundreds of high school athletes have trusted Integrated Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy to help them get back on the field. Don't let that injury go untreated. Call Integrated Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy today at 703-724-7474 or visit us online at integratedsportspt.com. It's where athletes go to get back in the game.